racing is life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Hello and welcome everybody to the SFR GT Challenge here at Kyalami. This is going to be round one of an 8-part series. Wonderful series here promoted by SFR GT Challenge, of course. We're live here on YouTube. As well, of course, we have the $100 here on the line. It's going to be an all in cash to all podium winners receive. Also, a Coach Dave Academy sponsor. Big thanks to Coach Dave for sponsoring this stream, as well as, SimGrid. I'm Mike Nause, of course, in the booth. Hello, if you guys aren't familiar with me, I'm main streamer over at Trackalicious. Big welcome to everybody joining us tonight, I'm sure, and everybody joining throughout. We have quite a few drivers on the grid as it stands currently, looking at 20 drivers. Current pole position sitter, we're looking at the moment here in the Ferrari, the 296. Looking at a 141.8, currently not quite on the best lap. Kyalami, a very, very grueling circuit, though, 2.8 miles, founded back in 1961. The current layout that we use, though, from 2016. 15 corners, 9 to the left, 6 to the right, 25 meters of elevation. A lot of that coming down the famous mine shaft, of course, topping out at Leocorp, down to the crocodiles and the famous cheetah curb, which has taken a bite out of many people's laps and races and championship dreams, of course. As I said before, 8 rounds in this championship. It's going to be quite the long one. So buckle in, folks, as we get ready here for round 1. We can get a little bit of in-game sound rolling in here as the wonderful track comes to an end here. So we look at the driver coming through the back sector right now. Just waiting for the music to end. There it is. Lovely. You can see here an awesome 296 livery, the number 28 car here, currently sitting in pole position with a time here of a 141.8. Excuse me. 1/10 off is going to be Jace Wright, the controller king here in the Fuchsia Competition Esports livery, which I somehow do not have. I've downloaded liveries, of course. Jace, how have you selected the wrong car? You're in multiple leagues that I watch. Irrelevant to that fact, Vadik is going to be upset, of course. We have Trangisi here as well, Albert in P3. Oh, having a little bit of a struggling for grip there. You can see the number 1 on the side of the car, number 1. I'm not sure if that is previous championship repping there, but it's a lovely livery, no doubt. We'll get a little bit more of an in-depth dive a little bit later here. Currently coming across the line, though, to start his 4th lap. can see cars pulled off to the side. That was Jace Wright. He is going to be done with his qualifying. We have, looks like all 20 cars on. I'm actually not sure on the qualifying format here. I probably, I haven't done my homework, you can clearly tell. Of course, if you guys are interested, the SimGrid Championship is going to be in the description. If you are interested in joining, there's $100 on the line, so why wouldn't you be interested in joining? We see it as well. Tranghisi pulls off to the side, ends up his lap as Santiago Venegas. I apologize in advance to everybody who doesn't know me. I'm not the greatest with pronunciation. I'm a little American here, but I try my best. Oh, big bite of the cheetah curb there. Invalidates that lap. Luckily still on that pole position. The 28 car going to continue here. I don't see much about a qualifying format. I'm not sure there. I think it's just everybody out at once, but don't quote me on that, everybody. 0.07 of a second separating Jace Wright and Santiago there. Venegas needs to get a good lap put together here. Currently about even. Why don't we hop on board here as we come out of the barbecue, heading towards Sunset now. Sunset, very patient right-hander, third gear. Can hear the nice sound of that Ferrari roaring as we look for a braking marker there at the curb change. Nice crest of the apex there through Clubhouse Bend, heading towards the S's now. A little bit of a correction on the wheel. Tilts it in nicely, bit late on the throttle. Nice rotation mid-corner. A little bit of understeer though. You can see the car just wants to understeer so badly to the outside. Heading out now, cresting to the podium curve, or rather Leocop. Very nice apex. Now you come barreling down the hill, 55 meters towards the mine shaft. Mine shaft flat out here. Coming up to the crocodile. You can see the car in front getting out of the way and very nicely. Going to be a big thanks there from the 28 Ferrari. Crest through the cheetah curb. You can see avoiding it quite a bit there. Definitely leaving maybe a half a tenth on the line. But I'm not sure it's going to matter. It's going to be an improvement, it looks like. Coming out of the corner and a smashing exit is going to improve 4/10. 141.4 by the end of it here. Jace Wright not going to have an answer just yet. He is out on track. We'll see what he can do. A little bit of setup tweaks. The Fuchsia Competition Esports is back out. As well here. Jace, very talented driver. He does drive on a controller, though. That is a fun fact. Of course, if you are as well a controller driver, I know there's quite a few out there, maybe not on a computer, but a controller driver on, or even a rig driver on a console. That's the word, I apologize. Of course, over here, we do offer console racing at SRF GT, so make sure you guys do check that out. So, of course, ACC. I'm pulling up my notes. Sorry. I have a lot of notes open, and I don't have that one open. Oh, and I have... Okay. We're messing our notes up here, everybody, but that's all right. You're welcome. This is Mike Nause here. I do apologize. Of course, we have iRacing ACC on PS5. Wait. iRacing's on PS5. I don't think that's correct. F1 23 on all platforms, but we offer iRacing here on the PC, ACC as well on the PC, and ACC on PS5. That was very much bumbled out, but we got there in the end. I'm sure it'll come easier next time. Looking at Jace Wright's lap. Hasn't come that easy for him. 7/10 down. Not looking the greatest here. We have Daniel Madrano managed to sneak his way up to third position there. Great effort there from the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini. Awesome livery. Currently coming around Clubhouse Bend, it looks like. Why don't we hop on board here with Danny. Danny Madrano here coming up to the crest, top of the track now. Down the hill we go once again, heading towards the mine shaft. It's going to be, again, one of my favorite corners. He is on an invalid lap, actually. We are going to tune in with him a little bit later, as we see here. Latour in the FRL. Aston Martin comes across the line. 3/10 gain, still 5th position, though. Tight margins separating him and Todd Tillery here. In the IRL Racing Ferrari 296, snap of the back end there. Not the greatest turn complex. Going to be a bit more on the table there throughout. Definitely lost at least, well, maybe even half a second, I was going to say at least, but maybe a half a second. Also have DeMarcus Rogers a bit further down in the DIR Racing, the nice and black and gold McLaren, befitting a champion here. Currently not in championship position, 8th fastest it's going to be as it stands. A little bit of a 2/10 margin separating him and Jay Davis. Jay Davis currently in the pits. Gonna need to get out of the track in a hustle here if he wants to set another lap. Of course, the track ever rubbering in here. It's a hot one. 32 degrees out on track currently. Tires are going to be cooking, so these drivers, you can see, returning to the pits almost every other lap, slapping on a fresh set of boots to get the maximum grip possible out of these cars. We have Gray Mulus here. BMW comes across the line. Going to be in P17. A little bit more time there. 151.5 for Gray. In the OK Listen Here. Great livery name there. Number 55, though. Got a bit more time there. Jace Wright on another invalid lap. You can see these drivers trying to push the limits ever so slightly, and it is costing them massively. Jace not able to crest that pole position, not even really reaching into the margins yet. 4/10, just under a half a second. We're also going to see Daniel Madrano. Can he have a fight for pole position? No, he comes across the line. No gain for him. Albert here. Trangisi in the TDR 296, number 1 here. Coming up now through Clubhouse Bend, just out of Sunset. Ooh, milking the cow there as he goes through. Really seesawing at the wheel, trying to get a grip with that McLaren, or excuse me, Ferrari. Tell the Ferrari from the McLaren very easily from the lovely downshifts that you hear, the exhaust popping and crackling as he plummets down the gears, and now plummeting down the hill. He needs to grip this car up. This is going to be his penultimate lap. He will have one more to go, but his tires are maybe at optimum temperature. He might have another one. We'll see. He's a 10th down as it stands. Gonna have to gain and cheat. A nice job there getting close to the curb, but it just was maybe a bit hesitant. He still lost a couple tenths. Coming around the final corner now. Needs to gain a bit. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna be any improvement there. We saw Santiago Venegas, the Venezuelan driver? Colombian driver? Hold on. I need to Google my flags so I don't get that one wrong. The number 28 car. Colombia. Yes, Colombia. Okay, I was right on my initial thought. I don't know why the Venezuelan flag popped in my head. It's way more fancy than that. Not that that one's not fancy. In the pits, Santiago goes. It's not start of war here. Jace Wright. Improving, but still struggling. The controller king here. We can hop on board and see what it's like through the final few corners. We go. Penultimate Cheetah. Now the final one. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure it is. He needs to gain massively here, and I don't think it's there for him. Looking like no improvement for Jace Wright. Comes across the line. It is going to be second fastest. Can Daniel Madrano say anything about that, though? He's got a bit more lap to go. Trangisi will be the next one to come across the line, and he's on a smasher of a lap. We'll see if he can even be in the fight for pole position here. Currently 6/10 off. Needs to gain over a half a second. That is a massive margin. But as the track is fully rubbered in at this point, there is not going to be much more. Oh, he almost pushes the limits there on on Crocodiles, heading towards Cheetah. Takes it nice and safe. Coming through the final corners now, loses a few tenths there. Now, one more corner to go through Ingwe. A little bit of understeer there, washes wide. Is it going to be enough? Albert Trangisi to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be half a tenth off of pole position. The number one card just not quite able to get that margin out there from Santiago Vengas. Can Daniel Madrano say anything, though, as well? Daniel Madrano, he's going to come to the line. It's going to be third fastest. Ends up on the podium there, Jace Wright. That lap not able to improve on. It costs him in the end. The Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini here comes across the line for third fastest in the podium. And great results there. Santiago Vengas in pole, Albert Trangisi in second, and Daniel Madrano in third. Great qualifying there. Very exciting laps put on at the end. As we wait here for the session to transition over, why don't we take a look here at our calendar? It's not the greatest looking calendar. I know, we'll work on it. It's week 1. Next week is going to be Silverstone, if you can see that. It's going to be next week, Friday. One of my favorite tracks, Silverstone, over in Britain. A old World War II fighter base. Of course, transformed to a racetrack post-war. They had nothing better to do with it, so, you know, hey, why not drive in circles around it? Of course, 3.6 mile track with 18 corners, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. Very exciting. Make sure you guys are here for that as well. Like I said, sign up on SimGrid. In the description, you can find the link over to the SimGrid to sign up for the SRF GT Challenge Friday Night League here. This is Season 3. We have $100 on the line, everybody. Make sure you guys get in on that. That is such an awesome prize there offered by the SRF community. As we get ready now to head over into the race. Got 2 minutes on the clock. And it looks like a full out lap. Awesome. And why do we get in here? And why do we meet our drivers? It's going to have to be a quick one, as we're running low on time already. But, starting here, in P1, it is going to be Santiago Vengas in the Ethereum Esports 296, the number 28 here. And lined up next to him on the front row, Albert Trangisi, the number 1 in P2, not quite able to get that podium at the end, half a tenth separating the margins. Daniel Madrano in the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini did manage to eke out Jace Wright for third position there. Jace Wright ends up in 4th. Alexander de Latour in P5, number 26 Aston Martin next to Todd Tillery in the number 27 in P6. DeMarcus Rogers, 7th fastest next to Jay Davis in P8 as well. Francisco Farana in P9, the number 20 driver in the TJR here. Devin Anthony bringing up P10 in the Rockefeller Racing 296, number 664, next to Anthony Camacho in the S&B Racing. A Camacho, I'm assuming that's Anthony Camacho, as I like to say, Anthony Macho Camacho. We also have Samuel Captanio. I'm so sorry, I apologize for the mispronunciation. Capitano, there we are, Jordan. I don't know how I mispronounced that. Samuel Capitano Jordan next to Marco Sanda in P13. As the car noises are drowning this out, we'll get those muted. Patrick DeBow in the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini in P14, number 87 here, lined up next to Jay Raymer in P15. Colin Sugg, 16th fastest, next to Leonardo Nevada in P17. Gray Mullis, 18th fastest, next to Alex Ishii in the number 9229, in the Porsche 992, and I think the only one on the grid as well. Interesting. And last but not least, in P20, the number 19 car, it is going to be Fikir Azka in the number 19 Iron Lynx Lamborghini. Nice representation there. And 20 cars on the grid. We have our outlap here. Of course, the outlap at Kyalami, a rather long one, as I said before. And I'll probably say it a few more times throughout the night. Well, I won't say the outlap anymore. It's going to be a 2.8 mile outlap. We have 1 hour on the clock for some nice and exciting racing here, as it's going to be Santiago Vengas leading us away here tonight. And Dawson Haywood, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Of course, one more time, I guess we'll try to say this properly. We, over here at SFR GT Challenge, we offer iRacing as well as ACC on PC, also ACC on PS5, and F123 on all platforms. So plenty of information, or plenty of racing there. I should have had the Discord link in the description. I am an amateur for not doing that. I will do that, though, by the end of the night. In fact, I will try to do that as soon as possible. But nonetheless, like I say, it's a very, very awesome community here with some amazing members. Of course, Rocky Rocco, one of the main contributors over there, an awesome guy. Okay, now hopefully I have this link, and this link can be posted in chat. I also have Rocky Rocco in the chat as well. Welcome, Rocky. Some support for Trengisi as well. Mullis and Nevada are going to snag and come from behind. Snag a dub from behind, predicts Dawson. Bold predictions. It's got a lot of work to do there from behind, but we will see. Big claims as Nevada in P17's got a lot for the win here, but 1 hour on the clock. Anything can happen in racing, and it normally does. We have a Colombian in the first position here, an American in second. As we come across the final corner now, we're 2x2 Noah's Ark formation, getting ready to go green here at Kyalami. I'm Mike Nause in the booth. We have Santiago Vengas on pole, Albert Trengisi in second, as we get ready to head down to one of the most famous corners in all of racing, Crowthorne. We are green, 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 and it's an amazing start for P1 and a smashing one for P3 as well. We're going to go 3 wide into the kink now, heading into the second corner, which is basically the first. A little bit of bumping and bang, and everybody managed to keep it under control now, getting on the brakes in time, though. We do see the first place running wide, and that's way deep goes Vengas 4 abreast now as we come through the first sector. More bumping and banging. We see the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini off into the grass. Everybody else, though, manages to be going through fairly well. Around the outside of around the outside of Barbecue, though, goes Nevada. Big moves early on. Predictions from chat. We saw he's already up 5 positions at the start. Anthony Camacho, good gains as well. The upper 3, though, tucking it in. We're going nip and tuck here into Sunset and carrying it on nicely. Devin Anthony has had an off as well. There's some incidents here on lap 1. Luckily, nobody else getting collected. Very easy to have a big pile up here. Nobody, though, getting taken out. Trengisi going to be holding on for dear life as he has Alexander De La Tour close on the heel here. Jace Wright as well, biting at the diffuser. Going to be rubbing a hole in it if he keeps this up. But unfortunately, we saw the Colombian driver plummet through. Also, my goodness, we should be keeping an eye here on Nevada. He is making up ground like it's nobody's business. Currently up to 9th position, already on lap 1, has gained 8 positions. You can't win a race on the first lap. You most certainly can lose one, but you also can make up 8 positions if you're careful enough. And Nevada has managed to pull that off. Battling up at the front as Latour runs wide and Jace Wright snags the position early there. Great work. Francisco as well, side by side, heading towards the kink. Across the line, it's hard to tell who was even ahead. But at the end of the day, Francisco is going to have to tuck behind Jay Davis there. Move to the inside, though, of the second corner. Down into Crowthorne we go. The inside line for the McLaren. He is going to make it stick. Lovely overtake there, making it happen, but the battle is far from over now. Fastest lap thing is maybe a little bit... oh, my car going slowly there. What has happened, Trangisi? What has happened? Our race leader, we've lost 2 race leaders now. It goes off into the barrier, just dipping a tire into the gravel there. He doesn't get on the throttle early enough, though, and he is going to let everybody by, which causes a little bit of chaos we see there from the battle. A little bit of bumping and banging. Everybody, though, keeping it under control for now. McLaren walking away a little bit. Really unfortunate. Jace Wright in the Fuchsia Competition Esports, now the race leader, with Alexander De La Tour in second, Todd Tillery in third, and Francisco Farna not too far behind either. Jay Davis in fifth. Anthony Macho Camacho biting at the heels here. He has gained massively, 5 positions gained for him. That is also, though, DeMarcus Rogers. Never count him out. He is going to be trying to make it happen early on here. And welcome Twisted Drift. Welcome Mulus, Dana Mulus. Diana Mulus. Apologies on the mispronunciation there. Welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, and this is some exciting racing that we're watching. We don't got too much time for more formalities, as Anthony Camacho was on the inside of Jay Davis as it stands. Anywhere you look, you can see action. This is so exciting. Of course, all brought to you by the SFR GT Challenge Friday Night Series. Once again, in the description, you can find that. Make sure you guys sign up. There's $100 on the line, and these drivers, you can tell they're driving absolutely perfectly so far. At least some of them with a few mistakes early on has cost them massively and dropped them down. But these battles are just superb. DeMarcus Rogers so eager to get this done. He makes the move, but he doesn't make it happen. A little bit of rubbing. You can see the front end of that McLaren washing out a little bit. Not quite. Why don't we hop on board here and see the... well, we're not going to be able to see the red in his eyes, but we can see what it's like through the visor of the man who currently is seeing nothing but a red mist. Coming at him like a charging bull. Although that pleasure belongs to Jace Wright. The charging bull, of course, in first position. And Madreno and Trongo making Trongo? I'm so sorry on the mispronunciations. Once again, everybody, I do my best. Marcus Rogers there, actually slipping back a little bit there from Venegas, which makes sense. Venegas, of course, qualified in first position, though. He does have a little bit of a wounded 296. No visible damage, surprisingly. There is one mandatory pit stop. I'm not too sure on the pit requirements. Rocky, if you could enlighten me on the pit requirements, as we see Anthony Camacho end up with a little bit of trip into the grass. That's going to give Venegas the opportunity immediately to pounce, and he does so. Makes it look easy there. Oh, Trongo is Tringa. Oh, okay. I got you. What's happened to Nevada? What has happened to Nevada? Nevada's off. Oh my goodness! What has happened to Nevada? Oh, big hit. Oh my goodness, get the yellow flags out. We're gonna need the marshals to, medical team's gonna be dispatched. That was a massive hit to the barrier. That looks like a full brake and steering failure. He is still in the barrier. My goodness, we need the safety team out there soon. Looked like his wheel came off. Yeah, that very well could have been, but his brakes also didn't engage. That was an incredible impact. He has returned safely, it seems. Further investigations are most certainly required. I'm sure we'll be hearing back from the medical team. But as it stands, that is a full-on disconnect there from, or rather, return to the pits there from Nevada. We'll see if they return to the track at any point. I would be very surprised, but you know, you never know. Hopefully we see them make a quick recovery. Of course, this is sim racing, everybody. Pedal was stuck. Oh no. Well, that is confirmation from the medical stewards that he is all right, at least, suffering no injuries. But wow, that was a crazy, at least 30 G impact into the barrier. Oof, dip into the gravel there we saw earlier cost somebody else, I think it was, I can't even remember who at this point. So much has happened. But Vengas there almost making an imitation of that. Of course, that was Anthony Camacho? No. Anyways, big send from behind there. Little bit of contact. Vengas making his statement shown. We had predictions for, or rather, he was on pole position. He is trying to get that back. Jay Davis here in P6. Can he come back with a response? I'm not sure. I'm twisted watching this while making logos on Forza Motorsports. Awesome. I've seen that, or I haven't played, but I've heard and seen that everybody is loving the new Forza. It looks amazing. This seems a little sim-cadey if you're into that sort of thing, but it seems like a great game. Side by side down the start-finish straight. Why are we talking about that one? We got more action at hand here. Fauna trying to make the move onto Tillery. Tillery moves to the outside almost, maybe going for the switchback here, but potentially sees the pace difference and isn't going to fight that too hard. Tillery looking to probably use Farna there for his advantage and get a nice little toe. Get a nice bench marker as Tillery can now get his head down. Because like I say, he's got a nice pace keeper there ahead of him. As he has fallen a bit behind, 6 seconds behind Latour. Latour still 2 seconds behind Jace Wright. Yeah, get back out there and gain some points. Exactly, exactly. Absolutely. You got a 2 minute and 30-second penalty, but that's about it. You still got to make your pit stop. But hey, get back out there, champ. A bit further behind here, we have Samuel Jordan in the Snack Friends by Team Jordan. He is on the hunt as it stands. Maybe smells a little bit of blood in the water there as DeMarcus Rogers' pace has been caught slacking here in the past few laps. But in fact, his line is not quite where you want to be. Is DeMarcus struggling with tires this early on the race? I doubt it, but something is not right there for DeMarcus. His pace has fallen off, and that line was definitely, well, taking his Joker lap early, let's just say that. Show me that boy, G. Mullis. We can show you some G. Mullis. Gray, currently under some pressure. We're going to take a look here, actually, at their rear wing. When I found the button, there it is. The guys in the truck, a little bit slow on that. You can see the BMW speed pulling away from the McLaren. Just surprising, a little bit early on the brakes, then the McLaren able to capitalize on that. Wide goes Mullis. Question is, though, does Saldana, does he have it? He is going to be looking for an outside pass, or an inside, pass through Sunset, which is an extremely bold move. You need some real cojones to make that one happen. Luckily, though, Marco not going for that. Saldana sticks back for now. We'll hop on board. You can see Gray pushing extremely hard, dipping a tire into the grass. Got a front row seat of his driving. Inside look here, that would be a very bold send. That's smart. I guess more of an interesting line there from Nause. Nause taking a wider line and approach. I think Marco, I just got a little bit thrown up there. Marco's on the racing line. He's all good. It's an interesting line from Nause. A bit further up ahead, though, we need to check on this. We have Daniel Madrano battling. Oh, big contact. Lamborghini on Lamborghini action. Tranghisi, excuse me, that's Azka. The Polish driver in the Iron Lynx is round. And Daniel Madrano is unfortunately the one to blame for that one. It's pretty hard to see it any other way. Let's take a look here. Coming into the final corner, sees the gap. Unfortunately, though, wasn't able to get the car stopped in time, and we have two bulls coming together. And a contact to the wall to boot. We may see Madrano come in for his pit stop relatively soon. That was rather unfortunate right there. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? A bit of an off-the-track pass there. Mullis is going to be ahead. Okay, we're side by side. I want to go back and see that, but that was at like 55. All right. Or like, that was at like 45. This is some incredible action. We got the Porsche sneaking in here as well. That's Alex Ishii in the Kelly Moss with Riley. Unfortunately, not able to see that livery. And I really want to go back and see that moment. Okay, we're going to try to get it. That was at 50, so we got to go back for like a minute, for like 30 seconds. We're going to try it, folks. We're going to see if we can get this. And we're going to be looking at Saldana. I don't think we got it. Did we get it? Oh, there's some contact. All right, let's let him off the trial. We got it. He goes for the rally pass, and he sticks it on the inside. What a move. If you want to call that legal. I'm not sure who was ahead at the initial engagement. The stewards may be having a little bit of an inquiry into that one. We'll see. We saw some incredible action after that as we wait here to go live again. We are now back live, and we see Azka, the Polish driver, trying to overtake Saldana now. Colin Sugg and Alex Ishii behind as well, having a little bit of a bout. Currently, though, Azka on the outside, looking to get it stopped in time. Not able to get the overtake done, though. Goes for the typical braking line there. As up ahead, Tranghisi does get the job done onto Raymer. Not sure Raymer fought that one too hard. Looking like he saw the writing on the wall. We'll see, though. Potentially. Oh, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Nice little train forming here for P15, or rather P14. Marco Saldana. A bit of a bottleneck in the works here for Azka. Fikri. It's Fikri. I have no idea what I have been saying, but it was not that. Apologies, Fikri. Fikri Azka. Looking to make the move here. You can see the Iron Lynx. I've been a little bit of latency, I'm not sure, but a bit of a twitch. Outside line picked into the Crocodiles. Switchback attempt going to happen? No. BMW also getting involved here. Why don't we hop on board with Azka? A little bit of understeer there through Cheetah. It is most certainly going to be interesting to see how this pit strategy forms here. We're probably going to see the drivers pitting around the 30-minute mark, as the halfway point is the good spot. We're going to... Holy send there from... Who was that? Big contact. That was Colin Sugg there. I think he missed his braking point. Let's get another view of that one. As Whoa, late on the brakes. He tries to get out of the way there, but unfortunately, he does collect Mulus. I know we had some fan support there for Mulus in chat, but Gray, unfortunately, a passenger in that incident. Mid-apex, not able to really do much. We have Rocky Rocco and Rockefeller Racing. Welcome. Santiago going for the in, going for the out, trying to do whichever which way he can. Wherever Tillery isn't, that's where Vengas is going to be. The Ethereum Esports here looking to make a move onto the inside, maybe? No, the inside covered. He's going to have to settle for the outside. Is it going to be enough, though? A little bit of contact. Switchback, though, not going to happen as a result. Tillery actually gets out of shape there. Some would... Okay, a little bit of aggressive curb there. Okay. Head down, Tillery. Head down. Head down. I know what just happened is unfortunate. You're not too happy with it. I wouldn't be either, quite frankly. But head down. Some definitely would say Vengas should most certainly give that position back. We also saw Jordan there, unfortunately, off into the barrier. I think he might have dipped a tire onto the grass there. We'll see here. Jay Davis and Tillery, though, going at it. Let's take a look. Maybe we can catch this. I think we're a little bit too... Yeah, we unfortunately missed it. Dang it. Unfortunate. Capitano, unfortunately, into the barrier. Not quite where you want to be. Facing the wrong way. He does manage to recover, though, in P11. Not too much damage picked up. Jay Davis here also on the charge. We see it. Tillery got his head down again. Good call there from Todd. Head down. Keep up with Vengas. Vengas wasn't your fight anyways. Vengas, he got pole position by a pretty wide margin. He is seeing red himself. And Tillery, I will admit, that may have not been the most fair overtake from Vengas. Like I say, just maybe let the stewards handle that one afterwards. That'd be my decision. I'm not a steward, though, so I get that deferment, luckily, of being able to pass that on to the next guy. We also, Leonardo Nevada, going to be coming into the pits. Nevada, unfortunately, suffering a massive crash early on. He did end up back out on track. The medical team cleared him for immediate rejoin, especially after a 30G hit to the barrier. That's a real testament to our safety technology here in sim racing. And Nevada in the pits for his stop tonight. Colin Sugg, currently 1 second behind Alex Ishii. Patrick in the Rockefeller Racing. Dubé. That's what it is, sorry. Yes. Anyways, Patrick Dubé here. A little bit wide. He seems to have that first few corners hooked up well, but into the barbecue section, it's not just not able to happen. Why don't we take a look at this lovely Rockefeller livery here as well. Awesome support there for anxiety and depression fighting, of course. We do represent that here. Multiple charities represented by both Rockefeller Racing and SFR GT Challenge. We are proud to be with St. Jude's charity as our main one. You can see the Rockefeller Racing, though, livery. Lovely sparkles on the back as well. Just incredible effort put in there. And gaining. Why don't we pop in here and see the action unfolding in front of our eyes here. A bit of a correction, seesawing at the wheel there. As Colin Sugg goes onto the grass as well. But Alex Ishii a bit deep? Not sure. Colin Sugg maybe early on the brakes. Regardless, Patrick Dubé had to respond a bit. Very conservative there through Cheetah. Ooh, big gains. Having to be very patient here. Looking like the move is going to be on as there's a wounded Porsche in front. We're going to see the straight line speed of this Lamborghini as well as the slipstream as we come down the 1.1 kilometer mile. Yeah, kilometers straight. Not going to happen, though. Colin Sugg all over the bumper there of Alex Ishii. And Rocky says, long way to go. Anything can happen in racing. Yes, it most certainly can. Still, 37 minutes. It's not the longest amount of time, to be honest. We're down to the closing bit here. At least we're getting there. We see a big side-by-side contact there as there's a massive kerfuffle in position here. Somehow, Colin Sugg has ended up behind everybody. We see the side-by-side between Dubé and Alex Ishii. Alex Ishii forced to the inside, which is the unoptimal line there. The racing line being taken by the Canadian, and he manages to make it happen. What a strange overtake. But also very nice. Thank you, Rocky. Alex Ishii not done yet, though. Can see trying to use every bit of brakes that Porsche got. That made some sense. Regardless, he is going to be trying to make the charge back onto. I keep wanting to say debut, and I'm so sorry. Dubé. I do genuinely apologize to the French Canadian Patrick. Into the second corner, though, we go once again. So far, 13 laps have been complete here at Kyalami. That's 13 times... Well, I don't know. We're almost at the halfway point. We shouldn't be doing that math yet. A little bit early for that. As we saw a little bit earlier, Samuel Capitano Jordan need a little minor contact with the barrier, and you can see the resulting paint job damage. Not quite the showroom-ready BMW it once was in the Snack Friends by Team Jordan, but he's still on the charge here. Devin Anthony is looking at currently a bit far behind, about 1 second, but is gaining quite a bit. We just won't pay any mind to that side. Why don't we get to the other side here? And of course I picked the best spot on the track to do this, where there's a big elevation change. Much better side of the car there, with just a small contact to the front left. Gaining on to the McLaren. Now onto the start-finish straight. It's almost assuredly locked in at this point. Samuel with an amazing exit. He should have this done before we even reach the apex of the first corner. Now we're side by side through the first corner. Of course, that one's not quite the first corner. Into the real first corner we go, and Jordan is going to be firmly ahead. Dubois? Ah, shoot. You're right. Thank you. I should have. My French is so bad. No, that's not a bad Wait, that's a bad... What's a bad explanation? Your explanation or my explanation? Because I got yours. Mine, yeah, probably not great. But no, you're absolutely right. It's Dubois. I knew that. Am I going to remember that? I'm going to try. Patrick Dubois, the French-Canadian Rockefeller Racing, in the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini Dubois, is going to be 2.3 seconds ahead of this battle here with Colin Sugg and Alex Ishii. We also have two yellow flags on track simultaneously. Gray and Marco. Marco with an immediate return to garage. Interesting call there, as that wasn't the biggest contact, it seemed. Let's take a look once again, though. Excuse me. Veering off into the barrier there slightly and making contact. That's a fairly light contact. He hasn't made his pit stop yet. I'm surprised he didn't limp that back around. Unfortunate. Hopefully we see him back out on track. There we see Tranghisi getting by DeMarcus Rogers. Tranghisi Looking awfully strong so far. Trango, as I guess he's known. News to me. Trying to go onto the charge, back for the podium position. We'll see if he can make it happen. We had some very bold predictions early on that Nevada would be working his way back up to the top, and unfortunately it seems that maybe due to injuries he has found or rather, just suffering a bit too much from that crash and returning to garage. Yours is a bad... No, because it was a bad explanation, Rocky, if I didn't already know that that is how I should be pronounced. Yes. It's Dubois. I knew that, but I just forgot. I'm just so bad with French. And I apologize. I'm working on it, as well as to... I'm sure I'm mispronouncing Alexander de la Tour here as well. As you don't pronounce... Is it de la Tour? You don't pronounce the R typically, so I'm assuming it's not that. Latour? No, it is Latour. No, it probably is Latour. I think I'm getting that one right. Vengas on the outside here, heading into Crowthorne. Crowthorne? Yeah, I'm right. Crowthorne. Why did I think that was wrong? Yeah, I would have pit Marco. Yeah. You know, it's unfortunate. Tranghese here. We are starting to see some of our first pit stops, though. Anthony Macho Camacho, he has made his first stop. Currently returning the track in P16. Daniel Madrano as well, making his stop. He's going to be on be on a charge next round, Red Maka. Yeah. I have no doubt that we're going to see Nevada. He made up so many positions on the first lap, and unfortunately, just, you know, I mean, well, we saw what happened. A full speed into the barrier crash because of a pedal getting stuck, a electronic failure, pedals getting stuck. Regardless, Tranghese all over the back of Tillery here. Tillery is probably a bit fed up of being overtaken. I take that back. He just says, I'll give it to you. We're not going to have the same incident before. Tillery's been driving a stellar race so far, so all credit to him. I don't blame him for just letting it go and focusing on his own race. He knows who he's racing. Probably going to be coming into the pits relatively soon, I think, are most of these drivers. I'm surprisingly good with names. Yeah, at this point, it's just a meme that I'm bad at names, because I am bad at names, but I'm only bad at them on, like, the actual tough ones. But I'm bad at them on the tough ones. But, yeah, I'm pretty all right. I mean, you know, you gotta be when you're trying to say 50 names in a race. I struggle with French and Eastern European. Eastern Europeans, I really struggle with. That's one that I'm very fortunate there aren't too many of those in here. And I do apologize to nothing against Eastern Europeans. My mouth don't move in that way. You know what I mean? Some of those syllables, it don't work. And some support as well from Mulus. Mulus is going to need it. Lap down in the okay, listen here. Number 55. Santiago Vengas with a brief yellow flag. What's happened here? We go back 20 seconds. Let's see. Way deep into the gravel. Okay. Just taking his Joker lap early on, Vengas. Fair enough. Carrying on. Going to be in P4 with Francisco about 5 seconds up the road. You struggle with English, Rocky. You're preaching to the choir, brother. You've watched the Trackalicious live streams before. You know. English is my first language, but it's also my worst language. Even though I can't speak any others. Mulus is about to get a bonus paycheck for that. Okay, listen here, shout out. I love it. I'm not sure what that's referencing, but it sounds like there's a bit of an inside joke going on with that one, so. Good on you, Mulus. Jay Davis currently with a battle for P6. Todd Tillery trying to hold on. He's let go a couple positions so far. I don't think he's going to let this one go. Lap times for Tillery, 1:44.1 compared to Jay Davis's 1:44.0. So Jay slowly reeling him in. But like a bass fisherman stuck out on a pier on a rainy day, he's struggling a little bit here. As the conditions may be getting to him, the tire temperature is going to be working their ways up now at this point. We're 30 minutes into this race. We're going to be seeing a bit of wear. Of course, these tires, GT tires, are quite conditioned to go quite a long ways, but these drivers pushing a bit harder than normal as well. Track temp 30 degrees. It's a hot track, you know. It's not quite Bathurst temperatures, but it's a quite warm track. In fact, it's not even up to Kyalami temperature. I've seen up to 46 at Kyalami. This is honestly quite cool, but 30 degrees is still quite the warm track. Tillery, though, holding on so far. We're seeing our leaders coming into the pits. Jace Wright is in, as well as Vengas and Latour. Few others in as well. Raymer is in. Few drivers not in. Jay Davis, Tillery, and Tranghese. Farna, new race leader. The number 20 car taking the lead of this race. Stop go 30 for Dubois. That is going to put a dark cloud over his race. There's not a cloud in the sky except for directly above. It's a BMW. What is it? I completely Ferrari. Dubois, what are you driving? I apologize. Lamborghini? Where are you? You're driving a Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini-sized cloud directly above Dubois' car. Like I said, not a cloud in sight beyond that. And Davis and Tillery, longtime friends, but battle. That's awesome to see. Davis and Tillery, they'll be scrapping away then. Even pace. 1:43.75 to a 1:43.77 last lap. In case anybody was curious, these lap times are so tight. Of course, especially over this 2.9 mile lap. It's just insane how tight they are. 2.8. Where is Madrano? That's a good question. Where is Madrano? Madrano has made his stop. He is currently in P11. We see another driver come in there. That's Tillery. He's in. Tranghese is in. Saw Farna staying out another lap, going for the overcut, as well as Jay Davis. Interesting calls from them. We'll see if that pays dividends later on in the race. They're going to be working these tires as long as they can, and maybe not taking tires. As I don't remember. Did you send it earlier, Rocky? What the pit requirements are? Are there any pit requirements, or is it just a splash and dash of their tires? I'm not sure on that. Devin Anthony stays out. Dubois in to serve his penalty. Devin Anthony is going to continue in fourth place for now. Of course, once he comes into that pit, he will be back behind Jace Wright, our preliminary leader of this race, or I guess is the word you could use. Not really. Not preliminary. That's not the right word at all. Our future leader. That also has very poor implications. We'll figure out better verbiage for that on a later date. Jace Wright, though, will be leading the race come the time that Farna and Davis go into the pits. Marcus Rogers as well here making gains. Tires and fuel. Okay, what is the stop time? Is there a fixed stop time? Or is it 25 seconds for tires and then fuel on whatever it is? I'm assuming it's that way, but we'll wait for the update. As I've also forgotten to do... Oh, well, it's fine. We won't worry about that right now. I don't know how to do that. It's the first time streaming on YouTube. We're trying to figure things out here. Marcus Rogers not able to quite gain onto Tillery here just yet. Both of them on fairly cold tires. Of course, all drivers are required to take a fresh set of boots. So going for the overcut's going to be interesting. You're going to be using your tires up longer, but you're going to have more grip at the end. Though, I'm not sure it's going to pay off because the grip just in 10 minutes, the tire grip doesn't change much in 10 minutes. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been very wrong about strategy calls in the future, as Jay Davis has actually continued another lap since I last spoke of it. I thank you, Mulus, for being here. I appreciate it. Of course, supporting the fellow Mulus, I'm assuming. But yes, also thank you guys for everybody in chat for being a part of here, chatting and jumping in and just even being back and watching. Hitting the like on the stream as well. That's something I've never said before. And hitting that subscribe button, as is free over here on YouTube. Make sure you guys do subscribe if you want to see some more future content as well. Check that description out because, of course, you can join this league. You can join these drivers out on track and compete for the $100 that is currently on the line. Offered, of course, by SFR GT Challenge. Very generous. This is Season 3. And all podium winners as well receive a sponsor to Coach Dave for their top Nause setup bundles. So big thank you to Coach Dave Academy for supporting this as well, and SimGrid. Or SimGrid being the massive sponsor and big part of this as well. Thank you, obviously. As we go. Back to the racing, of course. And no fixed... Okay, so 30-second tire change. That's right, I forgot. Yeah, it's not 25. And everybody has to make a pit. Yes, yes. Okay. So basically, yes, just 30-second tire change and then as much fuel as they want. So, of course, we're seeing some various pit stop times. Actually, we're really not. Everybody around the 33-second mark, as that's what I was pulling up, as I forgot to pull that up. My document for all of my stop times. Of course, the guys in the truck, they're a little slow sometimes. But here at Kyalami, the pit time is actually very generous as compared to other tracks. For example, Indianapolis, a track that we saw last week actually, which we didn't see, but that was our warm-up race. Indianapolis, 83% of your lap, or rather 79 seconds is going to be spent in the pit, which is 46% of your lap. Now, of course, a pit with tire change is 83% of your lap over at Indy. Here at Kyalami, it's only 52% of your lap. So it's going to be roughly a 53-second stop time with a tire change. Of course, the tire change overrides the fuel, so we're going to be looking at the 30-second timer fairly consistently. It's all about where they can get stopped in their pit box. And we unfortunately have another retirement. Is Mulus? No? Mulus is just coming to the pits. I'm not sure. Is Mulus retired? Who's a GSMO retirement? Unfortunate. You hate to see it. Of course, you want to see everybody make it to the end. That is the goal, obviously. To finish first you have to finish. And Jay Davis is trying to take that very literally, though he still needs to make his pit stop. Jace Wright, he's going to be catching him actually quite quickly. 2 seconds a lap. He might even catch him by the end of this race without even a pit stop. Latour, currently 1 second behind the McLaren there. You can see the pink and black, or purple and black, excuse me, and the purple and black battling each other. Rather, black and purple, purple and black, I suppose, is more the way to say it. Having a little bit of a bout here on lap 23. Daniel Madrano, I know we had some questions about him earlier. After all of these pit phases have unraveled themselves, he's currently in P9. There's still a few drivers up ahead that need to pit, and they most certainly will fall back behind him. So he is looking at a P7 right now, but trying to gain this position on DeMarcus Rogers would have put him in P6 at the end of this. Devin Anthony is in. Daniel Madrano, though, doing every single thing he can do to put the pressure onto DeMarcus Rogers outside of the Crocodiles. Goes for the switchback. Not going to happen. Has to back out of it. Forces DeMarcus into a bit of a mistake, but he had a bit of a mistake himself. Laid onto the brakes. Nice maneuver there as he's going to try to go for the switchback and get the better exit now onto the straight. He keeps it between the mayo and the mustard when DeMarcus doesn't, and this should be lick the stamp and send it here from the Lamborghini. In fact, he might not even need to send it. He is going to have it fully sealed. Yes, indeed. Fully sealed, stamped, and delivered instead by the time he reaches the apex there. But DeMarcus going to come back for a maybe. No, not quite. Daniel covers it off as you come into the twisty sector in the sweep, of course. That's a word. I don't know how to pronounce that corner name, unfortunately. And there's a drop round in this. Okay, fair enough. So not going to be the worst for you. You just got to make sure you deliver in the upcoming ones. You know, that's the biggest thing. It's unfortunate to use it in round one. Side-by-side action here, though, as we go into the S's. No, but DeMarcus takes the position firmly back from Daniel Madrano. What a nice scrap we got here. The new cars, of course, both of these added in the 1.9 update. The Lamborghini Evo 2 and the McLaren Evo 2. Well, McLaren Evo 2 added a little bit after. DeMarcus holding on. He's had P7 for the longest time so far. But the Rockefeller Racing looking to get the job done here. The outside line, he's had a lot of looks in the Crocodiles, but it hasn't really yielded him any results just yet. Now we come into Cheetah. Virtually impossible to overtake in there, barring a massive error, which is very possible. Massive errors, of course, that is called Cheetah because it is known to absolutely consume people's laps and races. Not sure cheetahs are necessarily known for that, but hey, I didn't come up with the corner names here. Daniel Madrano. Inside look as DeMarcus Rogers goes wide off the apex. He is going to have the inside line as we come back now for the sweep. But the inside for Barbecue is going to be handed to the Lamborghini, and late on the brakes goes the Lamborghini. The switchback, though, for the McLaren. He's going to keep the inside line as they head now towards sunset. Keeps his foot in it, does DeMarcus, and an incredible defense from the McLaren driver. What a battle. Wide goes both cars, though. Madrano going to have a look, though, into the inside as we go. Now into Clubhouse Bend. Madrano firmly ahead. Big error there from both drivers, but unfortunately DeMarcus making a bigger one. Daniel almost followed him, though. A little bit of a George Russell-esque moment there, but Daniel Madrano gets the job done. Not sure this is over just yet, though. As we have it, 1.3 seconds separating the two. It looks like Madrano maybe has found some pace. And glad to see the Aston out there. You know I love that car. Absolutely. Rocky, an avid Aston Martin aficionado, not aficionado, but driver. That thing needs to move as well, doesn't it? We're going to put that fastest lap thing in a less distracting spot. Hopefully. Alright, hopefully next time when it pops up, it's in a little bit less distracting of a spot. Because that's bothering me. Apologies for that. The guys in the truck messed that one up. Raymer here. with a nice move into the final corner, is going to get the job done. The BMW, though, does he have something to say about it? Jay Davis in the Ram Racing. We're going to go side by side across. We're not on the final corner. I'm totally looking at the wrong part of the track. We're into Sunset now. We're side by side into Sunset. Still, we're side by side racing nonetheless. Just wrong corner. Now into Clubhouse Bend we go. And the number 8 car going to keep the advantage. The inside line going to be held as well for the BMW once again. The McLaren going to have to go fighty as he can be. Not going to happen though. Up ahead, Tranghese trying to get an overtake onto DeMarcus. Not happening though. DeMarcus fell victim to Daniel Madrano not too long ago. And we saw the defensive masterclass that he put on there. Can Tranghese make something happen here in the closing 12 minutes and 36 seconds of this race? Time has flown by on this session. As this was a 1-hour race, this is when the strategies are going to unfold. Everybody laying their cards onto the table. And this is it. This is what everybody's got. There is no more bluffing. DeMarcus here, firmly defending against Tranghese. Does he have it? It's going to be a good speed advantage, a slipstream there for Tranghese. He has to pick the outside line, which is going to be very unfavorable, but a very nice send late onto the brakes, and a textbook overtake there from Tranghese. He made that look easy. What an I can't stress how the sheer difficulty of what he just did is. We're going to go on board with the man. It's not going to be the most exciting view here, but you can just see the sheer confidence of getting that car stopped, the space that he left on the inside, taking it out wide, and then closing the gap as he gets the position firmly stolen there from DeMarcus Rogers. That is a textbook overtake and just some superb driving there from Tranghese just all around. Absolutely incredible stuff. Incredible spectacles here at Kyalami. Off the track there goes, I was looking at my other screen. I'm not sure who that was. Was that a back marker? That very well could have been a back marker. Todd Tillery has found Anthony Macho Camacho. He's lining up in his sights for right now. We'll see what he can manage, as Anthony's shown some quite strong pace, but currently Todd's showing stronger pace. 142.6 was, 142.6 was his previous lap and his best lap compared to the 143.3 of Anthony Camacho. This time around, Todd, 143.0 compared to 143.6 again from Camacho. Call Camacho anything you want, but don't call him inconsistent. Todd here being very patient, just trying to use the pace that he has. He knows he has the pace. We'll see what he can do. What has happened? Oh my goodness. Okay, a little bit of a heart attack there. We'll see what has happened to Latour. Alexander De La Tour coming into the S's. Oh, hits the curb. Big scare, and thoroughly testing the structural fortitude of his underpants there is Alexander De La Tour. Luckily, he manages to keep it out of the barrier and return to track quite swiftly. The race only 9 minutes and 28 seconds away from a fresh change of clothes. And Rocky cannot wait to get back. Of course, Rocky ailed by disability this week, unfortunately. We'll see you out there next week, though, Rocky, hopefully. And definitely wish you the best in getting better. Some very unfortunate and crazy stuff has happened recently, and, you know, real life comes first, of course, and recovery over sim racing is the priority, so definitely want to see you get well before you get back out there, but also want to see you get back out there, Rocky. As it stands, a bit of a lull. A couple gaps on track here, 1.3 seconds for both Todd and Jay. As we come into these closing 8 minutes, the drivers trying to close their gaps as the time ever rings closer. Hello, Eric. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. We're watching some awesome racing here at the SFR GT Challenge, and to be honest, the racing that we've seen tonight has just been incredible. A little bit of bumping and banging through and throughout the session, but nonetheless, it's been very clean at the end of the day. We've seen some incredible overtakes and some massive, massive disappointments as well. Tranghese starting in P2, managing to go down 5 positions to P7 after having a bit of a contact with the barrier, and one of our biggest losses, Francisco Farna, down 8 positions from 9th. But really, once again, I think the kicker, the icing on the cake, which somehow Vengas has managed to make up after having a bit of a rough start, back into the podium paying positions, but it's looking tough to get the race win where he had it at one point. Of course, he qualified pole position. Not quite in that spot for now. Anthony Camacho 15 seconds behind. 4 seconds up the road, though, is De La Tour. We also have a little bit further down for P15, Alex Ishii, or rather 14, Alex Ishii and Fikra Azka. Whoa, okay, Alex Ishii handing the position to Fikra with ease there. The Polish driver comes through in the Iron Lynx Ferrari. Now Alex Ishii is going to be 2 seconds behind with Patrick Dubois, 25 seconds behind him. Captain Eric. Don't call him Captain. He's not a captain. He doesn't know how to drive a ship. He knows how to drive a boat, but not a ship. Come on. Is a boat... Anyways, we're not going to get into the semantics here because... Anyways, Todd Tillery, 8/10 off. Drive-through penalty picked up for Dubois. One too many adventures off the track, and the stewards thinking he gained an advantage. Of course, 4 off tracks with a little bit of an advantage gain, or at least the stewards claim that, will result you in a drive-through penalty. Yeah, Eric, that's why you're the Führer. Oh, did I say that out loud? Anyways, Todd Tillery, like I say, still on the hunt. Anthony Camacho doing a great job to not succumb to the pressure. No, I wouldn't call him a wizard, that's for sure. Yeah, Jay Davis in P10. Well, thank you for clarifying, Eric. Jay Davis closing his gaps here. Jay Raymer. Why do I keep thinking it's... I apologize, Raymer. It's not that hard. That name I have no excuse for. Hop on board here with Raymer behind the wheel of the BMW. Of course, Eric in chat going to be losing his mind over this. BMW in P10. Look at that. BMW in the top 10, Eric. You can't... Oh, wait. Let's not go down that. Anyways, currently, though, looking to make some gains as well. Tranghese has found the back of the Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini. The prancing horse with the charging bull. Can he stay ahead? Madrano has shown a good offense so far, but we haven't seen too much of his defense. And he's going to have to put one on now. The outside line being picked for Tranghese into the Crocodiles, trying to carry that speed heading towards the Cheetah curves. It's going to be tough to make an overtake there. He's going to try, though. Sticking with it. Not quite. Backs out of it into Cheetah. Not going to happen, of course. Maybe the final corner, though. Get a good exit. Set it up for Crowthorne. And it looks like Exactly what I said. The exit there for Albert Tranghisi as well as the slipstream will be most certainly enough. And the Ferrari 296 straight line speed as well. Oh, is it though? Late on the brakes? Nope. Okay, he does seal it. Very nice job. Madrano, though, not giving an inch after that overtake. Momentarily, you couldn't fit a credit card between the two of them. Luckily, though, no contact happening. Madrano, he definitely is not too thrilled with losing that position. He's going to try to send it back now. Rocky, all right, you have a good night, Rocky. Okay. Oh my goodness, Daniel Madrano's off. I was looking at chat. What has happened? Daniel Madrano, wide there into Clubhouse. Into the S's we go. Unstable into the first one. Going to bottom out on the curb there? No. What has happened? Wide onto the grass. The back end just didn't grip. That was very strange. I've never seen that. The back end really just stepping out there with too much power. Oof, Madrano driving a wounded bull. Trying to get it back to the line. He only has a few more laps. No point in pitting now. He was on such a comeback. And yeah, you have a great night, Rocky. Inside line there for, is that Raymer? Raymer in the McLaren trying to capitalize on Madrano's mistake, sending him even further into the doldrums. Side by side, down we go towards Crowthorne. Looks like it might even be 2 in 1 straight here. And it is. Madrano suffering. Lambo problems. Too much power. Too much power. Ten cylinders of pure awesomeness. And also, like I say, too much power. Not enough traction control. Yeah, he is limping at home like a wounded animal. But that is music to his ears right there. Jace Wright, who I've not mentioned much in this race. He is on the final lap. 2.8 miles left here of the first round, the SFR GT Friday night PC League Season 3. Not the most catchy name, not gonna lie. I'll find a better one to word that. But Jace Wright with a superb drive, a masterclass might you call it, capitalizing on the others' mistakes. Maybe not quite a masterclass. Didn't get the fastest lap. He is just going to get the race win. Vangas will take the pleasure of the fastest lap. The Colombian driver with a good recovery drive up into the podium paying positions, but not quite where he wants to be, no doubt. As well, Albert Tranghisi, the number 1 car, suffering. Down in P6. Definitely disappointed in this one, Will Tranghisi. But it is what it is. Still, when you're up here with the names like Todd Tillery, Anthony Macho Camacho, Vangas, it is what it is. You know, you take what you can get, and 6th position, still a good haul of points. So, nothing to shake a stick at. But as it stands, all eyes right now are on the carbon fiber Fuchsia Competition Esports livery. Unfortunately, not able to see it. Rounds the final corner now and is going to come home for the race victory here tonight. A bit wide into the final corner, but it's going to be all good. No drive-through penalty, and that's all that matters. Jace Wright takes the win here in round 1 of the SFR Friday Night GT3 League. Latour, whoa! Vangas is off. This could potentially spell disaster. Is Camacho going to catch? Camacho, he sees it. He sees the light in his eyes. Is it going to be? That's not Camacho. Never mind. That's somebody else. Vangas, even with the air, is going to bring home P3. Latour in P2. Vangas 3rd position overall, with Anthony Macho Camacho coming home for 4th. Just out of the podium paying positions, unfortunately. Does make it a... Just hoping not to jinx him there. Is Todd Tillery as well. 5th. Tranghese, unfortunately, there for him in 6th. DeMarcus Rogers in 7th. The great effort. DeMarcus putting on an amazing show here tonight. And that is going to be the Porsche of Alex Ishii in front of him. Jay Raymer in P8. Jay Davis in 9th. Daniel Madriano going to be bringing that wounded bull home for 10th. With Samuel Capitano Jordan in P11. I think he will be the final driver to come across the line here tonight. And what a race it's been. What a round one. Big thank you to all of our drivers. Big thanks to you to everybody in chat and all of our viewers as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Of course, I'm Mike Nause here in the booth. I don't think we have any interviews or anything like that, so we are going to be ending the stream off here. Basically now, I guess, right? See you next Friday. Yes, pretty much. And so, yeah, big thank you once again to all the drivers. Jace Wright with a great win. The Controller King, proving that he's still on top in the Lamborghini. Lamborghini, Aston, Ferrari. Nice diversity up at the top with even an Audi sneaking in. That's incredible to see. But big thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight once again. I'm Mike Nause. Hope you guys have a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you, and good night.